There's a time in every team's journey when the window of greatness starts to close, and that's when urgency either destroys a franchise or reignites a legacy. And right now, that's exactly where the Golden State Warriors find themselves. Before we dive into everything that's unfolding, before we get into the names, the rumors, the surprises, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single twist in this off-season saga. Because what we're about to unfold isn't just about trades, it's about the desperate pursuit of one last chapter of greatness. And if you're a real fan, you already know, this isn't just basketball. This is legacy on the line. The Golden State Warriors are standing at a crossroads. Their roster, as of this moment, is painfully thin. With more holes than answers, and free agency fully underway, the pressure is rising by the hour. This isn't just about competing, it's about survival in a league that's faster, younger, and more loaded with talent than ever. The Warriors need bodies. But more than that, they need fits. Players who can step in, fill the cracks, and elevate what's left of the championship core. The spotlight right now is directly on the Jonathan Kuminga situation. It's the domino. The unresolved future of the 21-year-old forward is keeping everything else in limbo. The front office knows that his value, whether as a player or as a trade asset, will determine how much flexibility they'll have in the coming weeks. Once that situation clears, expect a rapid sequence of moves. The Warriors can't afford to wait much longer. One name that's surged to the top of the conversation is De'Anthony Melton. Not long ago, Melton was linked heavily to the Los Angeles Lakers. But in a twist that reflects the unpredictability of NBA free agency, Melton may now be leaning toward the Bay Area. And here's why it matters. Melton is the exact kind of value signing Golden State is targeting. A two-way guard, 6'2", 200 pounds, who averaged 10 points, 3.3 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 1.2 steals per game last season. He defends with tenacity, he hits timely shots, and he doesn't demand the ball to be effective. The biggest appeal? There's growing belief that Melton might be willing to accept a veteran minimum deal if the fit is right. And Golden State checks every box he's looking for. A defined role. A winning culture. A coaching staff that values defense. And teammates who know how to win. It's not hard to see the match here. And if the Warriors can land Melton on a minimum, it's not just a smart move, it's a steal. But that's just the beginning. Out of nowhere, Ben Simmons has entered the conversation. Yes, that Ben Simmons. Once an all-star, once viewed as a future franchise cornerstone, now a mystery wrapped in a riddle. But Golden State is not afraid of a reclamation project. In fact, it's what they do best. Simmons, 6'10", 240 pounds, is still just 28 years old. And while his averages last season were modest, 5.0 points, 5.0 rebounds, and 5.6 assists in limited action, there are whispers that a healthy, focused Simmons could be a low-risk, high-reward gamble off the bench. The fit wouldn't be conventional, but that's exactly the intrigue. Imagine Simmons in a Draymond Green-type role with the second unit. Playmaking. Switch defense. Rebounding. All while taking the ball-handling pressure off younger guards. The catch? Simmons reportedly wants more than the minimum, and Golden State can't and won't overpay. But if he sees the Warriors as a place to revive his career, and the price is right, this could be one of the most fascinating experiments of the offseason. And speaking of experiments, how about a reunion that could light up the entire Bay Area? Seth Curry, the younger Curry, could finally don a Warriors jersey next to his older brother. And for fans who followed the Curry family saga, this would be more than sentimental. It would be practical. Seth shot 45.6% from three last season, including a blistering 54% on corner threes. Let that sink in. Golden State's system thrives on spacing, movement, and rhythm shooting, and Seth would slot into that role effortlessly. Sure, his minutes were limited last year. But that was situational. On a team like Golden State, with Steph drawing double teams nightly, Seth could feast as a catch-and-shoot sniper. The bench needs shooting. The offense needs space. And the team needs a morale boost. This one feels like it could happen, if the money makes sense. But while the backcourt possibilities are exciting, the frontcourt can't be ignored. Trey Lyles is the name most seriously being discussed for that role. A 6'9", 234-pound power forward who brings rebounding, toughness, and, most importantly, shooting. Lyles hit 34% from deep overall, and 38% from the corners. And in Golden State's offensive structure, that matters. He's not a star, but he's stable. A glue guy. Someone who won't command a large role but will quietly produce on both ends. The big question is what happens with Kuminga. If the young forward is traded or if his role diminishes, then Lyles becomes even more essential. The Warriors don't have the luxury of ignoring their frontcourt any longer. They need size. They need rebounding. And they need someone who won't disappear in playoff moments. But the Warriors' board goes even deeper. Other names that have floated through the rumor mill include Malcolm Brogdon, a steady veteran guard with playoff experience. Chris Boucher, a lanky big who brings rim protection and energy. And of course, Gary Payton too, a known commodity who has already proven he fits like a glove in Steve Kerr's system. Each of these players offers something unique. But what ties them all together is this: affordability. This front office is hunting value. Minimum contracts. Team-friendly deals. Players with something to prove. And that's what makes this moment so delicate. Because nothing happens in isolation. Every decision the Warriors make right now is being calculated against cap space, tax implications, and timing. They can't rush. But they also can't wait too long. That's why there's optimism, but also caution. Everyone in the building knows that once the Kuminga situation is resolved, either by extension or trade, the green light will flash. And when that happens, expect a flurry of signings. In the end, the Golden State Warriors are not just looking for players. They're looking for identity. For chemistry. For answers. This offseason isn't just about plugging holes, it's about finding a group that can still fight. That can still win. And that believes in one final run before the window shuts completely. These trade rumors, they're not noise. They're signals. That this team isn't done. That they still believe. That there's one more mountain to climb. And that with the right moves, smart, measured, calculated, they can get there. So don't look away. Because the next few days might just define the future of the Golden State Warriors. And you won't want to miss a second of it. Subscribe now, like the video, drop your predictions in the comments, and stay tuned. The off-season is far from over, and the Golden State Warriors are just getting started. And here's a tip from the Fan Golden State Warriors channel: study financial education and have opportunities in the financial market by studying REITs and investing in large brokerages around the world.